Feeling discouraged? I know I am. Things feel like they're a mess right now. The world is a challenge. No matter what your beliefs are, I'm sure there's something happening that you disagree with. And just day-to-day life can be very challenging. All the things that we hope to accomplish that sometimes feel like they will never happen. I've talked about things like book releases, which was the topic of yesterday's video, and the fact that I'm feeling a little bit discouraged because I didn't make my self-imposed deadline to release my book in mid-April. It's probably going to be late May, but at least I know it is in the editing process and it will come out at some point. As I mentioned, not a lot of people are clamoring for my books anyway, so really the only one I'm accountable to is myself. So things are discouraging on a global front. Things are discouraging on a personal front. And I have this thought running through my mind over and over. At my age, I should be. And really, that's not helpful. At my age, I should be popular. I should be successful. I should be accomplishing all the things I've dreamt of accomplishing. I'm happily retired. I'm happily married. I have a wonderful family, kids and grandkids. So why would I feel discouraged? And really, the things I find discouraging are the things that are outside my control. I can put out the best book that I can, and nobody will ever look at it. I can put up these YouTube videos and no one may ever watch them. But I've accomplished a lot. So those are the things that I need to remind myself when I become the most discouraged. I was in quite the funk this morning, but getting out into the fresh air really helps. You see, it's a beautiful day here in northern Nevada. I've got Washoe Lake back there behind me. I'm actually at Bowers Mansion Regional Park, which is just off of Old 395 on the north end of Washoe Valley. So it's in between Carson City and Reno. I'm on my way to go see my kids and grandkids, so I need to keep this somewhat short and sweet. But I wanted to take a minute to just chat with you because I'm finding that chatting with you is helping me. And even if nobody ever listens to this, just putting it out there gets these things out of my head. And that's why I decided to sit down in this beautiful spot and talk to you about feeling discouraged. As you can hear, the birds are all twitter-pated. There are gray squirrels everywhere. The ground is littered with pine cones from the evergreens. Like I said, I think it is a bit chilly and breezy today, but it is otherwise beautiful. Few people are out and about, as you can see. I've noticed, I think a lot of the people parked here may actually be bicycling because the old freeway here is a good place to stretch the legs. I've actually done a few 5Ks that started at this park, and it's just a beautiful spot to visit. I need to come here more often. I need to get out of the house more often, honestly, because that really helps my mood and helps me when I'm feeling discouraged this way. One of the main reasons I'm feeling discouraged is that I, like many women, have spent my life trying to blend in, trying to do what others expected of me, and to be a good girl. You know, don't be too vocal about your opinions. Don't be too abrasive. Don't, butt in where you're not wanted, basically. And I've spent my entire life blending in and being a good girl. And that's not how to gain attention for yourself. But really, do I want the attention? That's the other question. I've thought about what might happen if one of these videos happened to go viral, or if my book happened to take off. Would it really be what I expected? So why am I allowing myself to feel discouraged? Feeling discouraged is really a normal part of life. I think we all have our moments where this happens. We may have applied and interviewed for a job that we really desperately wanted and we didn't get it. Or we may have wanted to win the 5K, but we came in third or fourth, you know. And a lot of the reasons may be outside of our control. There may have been somebody who was having a better day than us when they interviewed or when they were running that 5K. And even though we trained really hard and did our best, we didn't quite match up to what others expected of us. But really what's important is, what do we expect of ourselves? I talked a little bit about feeling that I'd spent my life trying to blend in, and that's true. I've mentioned in a previous video that I really wanted to sing soprano solo in a choir, but I chose not to be in choir when I found out I was more of an alto. You know, those kind of things. My vocal range is out of my control. I could have trained when I was younger to maybe be a little bit closer to what I hoped, but a lot of that is just my body. You know, my body is what it is. My vocal range is what it is, especially at this point in my life. And being discouraged about that didn't help matters. I could have continued in the choir. I have found out that I do tend to harmonize well with others, both when I'm singing and when I'm just working with people in general. My strength in life seems to be kind of smoothing over the rough edges, where I would be in an office environment and people were butting heads, but if I was in the middle, which is what happened to me, I was literally in the desk in the middle of two people who didn't get along. And it did help to calm the atmosphere in the office, which I didn't know at the time, because when I was hired, I didn't realize that these two coworkers had been butting heads for a very long time. So my supervisor was very happy with that. But did that make me stand out? No. I mean, it was me being quiet in my little area, doing as much as I could to help them so that they wouldn't have that friction between each other. And that is a strength. So I have to remind myself that I do have strengths. They may not be the strengths that would make me a best-selling author. They may not be the strengths that would make me a viral YouTuber. But maybe somewhere along the line, someone will find some comfort in something I've said, or, you know, if you're having a day like me where you're feeling discouraged, maybe this will help you to take a moment and just think about the good things. I mean, look at this beautiful scenery. I really, on days like this, I need to get out of the house, because staring at those four walls, even though I absolutely adore my house, can be a little hard on my mental health. And I have to remind myself of that. When the weather is nice, I need to get outside more. And that may be something you can try. If you've been cooped up for too long, go out, just walk around the block. Or if you're lucky enough to have a yard, maybe sit in the sun for a few minutes. You don't have to do it for very long, but it will be a great way to help improve your mood, because I'm already feeling better. Am I still discouraged? Yeah. I mean, I'm still not a best-selling author, and I'm not a viral YouTuber. You know, it's just like, I am what I am. My unique qualities are that I exist in this body at this moment, in this particular place and time. Nobody else is sitting on this park bench with me. There are people around me, of course. You may have seen there are some bicyclists, and off in the distance we can hear the dulcet tones of the leaf blowers where people are doing some yard maintenance. But I am the only one who will be ever be able to sit in this place, in this time, in this body. That's my unique quality. Whether or not people find that interesting is not up to me. I mean, I can try to make myself more interesting, but I am what I am. And like I said before, that thought that keeps looping through my mind, at this age I should be who I am. I need to just step back, and I'm going to keep putting myself out there because this is something that I'm enjoying. I'm going to keep writing books because I'm enjoying that too. I tend to not find trends as they're starting to take off. I catch them at the tail end, so I don't know that I ever will become, well known at something. I don't know if anything I ever do will take off and gain the interest of a lot of other people. But hopefully, if you've come across this, you may at least take comfort in the fact that you are the only person sitting in your particular spot at that particular moment in time. You and I are connecting, because even though we're not together in person, somehow you and I were brought together. And I found this with several YouTubers that I follow. I actually have started to feel like friends toward them, even though we've never met in person, and we probably never will. But what they put out into the world really helps get me through some rough times. So I'm hoping that, if nothing else, what I put out into the world may help someone else get through some rough times. And it's challenging to remind myself that I'm really, I would like to know what it feels like to be a best-selling author. I'd like to know what it feels like to be a viral YouTuber. But then again, maybe I wouldn't, because once you get into the spotlight like that, things become a lot more out of your control. And right now, I can control what I'm putting out into the world. Whereas if more people notice me, I may have to temper what I'm putting out into the world to loud engines. I may need to temper what I'm putting out into the world in order to maintain my personal mental health, because I have noticed, especially with some of the people that I follow on here, that they sometimes need to take a step back because things get to be too much. So maybe I subconsciously sabotage myself, because I realize that becoming more well-known could be a major downside. I cannot believe how many people are out today. This is just, it's great. It's a beautiful day. It's a Tuesday as I'm recording this. It's March 2nd, 2026. And it is supposed to be even cooler in the next few days, but then kind of bounce back into the 60s again. We had that one snowstorm that melted pretty quickly, so the lake is up a little bit. And just for the sake of interest, I can tell you that occasionally, if it's been dry for long enough, the lake completely disappears. Washoe Lake ebbs and flows with the climate around here, and we're currently in a place where not only is the lake up, but the median in the center of the freeway is a little bit high too. There's a high water table in here. There are some aquifers, I think, in the local area, because some of the fields actually have pipes and wetland areas. Anyway, that was sidetracked from my topic of the day, which was feeling discouraged. And I don't know if you can tell, but throughout the course of this conversation, I have started feeling a lot better. Yes, I'm still discouraged. Yes, I will probably be discouraged again when I get home. But, like I said, there are so many good things in my life. I have a wonderful husband. We're enjoying our retirement together. We're enjoying writing and publishing our books together. We're enjoying podcasting together. I'm going to go hang out with my kids and grandkids, and we'll get caught up. And one of my older grandkids loves to show me the games that they're playing, so we'll spend some time doing that. They've also gotten a record player, so I brought a couple of albums, vinyl LPs, along with me to share with them. I have the soundtrack to Star Wars and the soundtrack to Close Encounters of the Third Kind, so didn't bring along my Sean Cassidy albums because I didn't think they would appreciate that. And I'm hearing that my younger grandchild has gotten interested in cassette tapes, so old school media is coming back. Maybe old school me will come into fashion at some point. Who knows? Well, if you have stumbled upon this video and you have spent the last few minutes with me, I really appreciate it. I hope talking out how I'm feeling today has helped you a little bit. I hope you have enjoyed the beautiful scenery around me, the sound of the traffic passing by, the distant dulcet tones of those leaf blowers, the chattering of the birds, and I haven't seen any squirrels. I think I scared them all away, but it's definitely a beautiful day out in the world. So I hope wherever you are, it's also a beautiful day. If you are feeling down, please remember that you're not alone, and no matter how you're feeling, we all do have similar feelings. You are the only you occupying your place in your life, and if you can take comfort from nothing else, take comfort in that fact, because you are the only you that will ever be here, and that's a wonderful thing. I'm glad you stopped by, and hopefully maybe somewhere along the line we may actually run into each other, either on here or out in the world. We never know. We might be the people who pass on the street and smile at each other or wave and say good morning. Could be as simple as that. Remember that no matter what, when you're walking by people, be kind, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know how they're feeling. They could be having the worst day of their life. So be kind to yourself and others as much as you can. I'm not sure what I did to upset that bird, but it sounds like a crow. Anyway, thank you again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed these few moments of communication and connection and the beautiful scenery. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is the Life of a Writer. Take care.